For the first time in almost 2 decades, there is a new drug to treat Alzheimer's disease that could impact the lives of thousands of Iowans living with the disease. It's called aducanumab. It aims to slow the progression of the disease by removing the sticky deposits of a protein from the brains of Alzheimer's patients. This drug has incredible promise. Also, a little bit of controversy along with it. Here to tell us more about it, we have Doug Bickford. He is the executive director for the Alzheimer's Association in Iowa, the local chapter. Have I summed this up properly as far as the hope that this offers, but also the skepticism that comes along with it?
Sure, I think so. There is some skepticism that our association acknowledges, but we really believe in the science behind why this got approved today. And are really encouraged about this treatment. I've been grinning ear to ear all day. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing.
Well, and when you talk about the approval, so this happens years in the making, right? To bring a drug to market is an incredible undertaking. So having that approval today indicates to you what?
It indicates that the science won out. They're right. There were naysayers along the way. It was an interesting process. At first, the data showed that there was hope. A second data set said, well, maybe not. Then the third data set showed that there is indeed hope, and that indeed this treatment can reduce the cognitive decline for folks that have mild cognitive impairment or early stage Alzheimer's disease.
Big difference between delaying Alzheimer's and reversing Alzheimer's. What are we talking about with aducanumab?
No doubt about that. Now, be perfectly clear, this is not a cure, this is a treatment.
Okay.
And what this treatment does is slow the decline, and it gives people more time. And what I mean by that is more time for somebody affected by Alzheimer's disease to live independently, more time to cherish the memories that this person has, more time for the family to potentially care plan for this individual, meaning talking about finances down the road. What are our memory care options? Things of that nature. It just gives more time in general for a person to be able to walk around independently, think for themselves, and be as independent as possible for as long as possible.
Alzheimer's is affecting your family. I've heard it described this way, as from the outside looking in, you really can't understand it unless you're in it, and from the inside looking out, you really can't explain it. Is that
Sure.
Is that accurate?
I think that's accurate. And what we tell folks is if you are talking with somebody with Alzheimer's disease, it's okay to enter their world. Mm-hmm. They may think that their spouse that may have passed 15 years ago is right next to them. There's nothing wrong with saying that indeed she is and having that conversation with that person with dementia. So if we enter their world, you're going to find that working and living with somebody affected by Alzheimer's is a lot easier.
We talk about demand for drugs, especially, well, most recently, demand for vaccines. So this is all very top of mind for us. Demand for this drug is going to be off the charts. We know that. What are the odds that the drug maker is going to be able to meet it in a timely fashion?
Sure.
Because like you said, it's all about time and the time you got left.
Yeah, so we know that the drug maker was hoping that this approval would take place. So I think they're ready to go. What we need to make sure, and what we're really passionate about at the Alzheimer's Association, is access to that drug when it becomes available. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, doesn't matter your income. Everybody that needs this should have access to this. So our association should be working hand in hand with everyone involved to make sure that happens.
Are the doctors as excited as you are?
Some of them are, some of them aren't, but I think the ones that aren't may not be fully aware of the latest data set that came through and what it really tells us. Because, long story short, there's various doses that were involved in this drug trial. The highest dose was clearly the most effective, and that's that third data set I was talking about earlier. So I think once people just look at that data set, erase everything else, look at that data set, my hope is that their minds will change.
And we're talking about, is it the plaque, what we traditionally hear of as the plaque that attaches to people's brains that we know without a doubt is linked to Alzheimer's, that the proteins that were being referred to, this drug prevents the plaque from sticking, right?
Correct. What this treatment will do is attack those plaques in the brain. Those protein plaques, that's the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. It helps chip away at those and helps them disintegrate, thus the decrease in cognitive decline.
Do you wonder if this could ever be administered preventatively?
Maybe. I think there are treatments down the road that may address that. And what's exciting about this, and some of the naysayers, is this the cure? No. Is this the perfect treatment? It isn't. But in order to get to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth effective treatments, you need to have the first. This is the first.
Of course, there is so much more that goes into addressing Alzheimer's besides drugs and chemicals. It's the holistic care of the person and the family dealing with it. How do people get in touch with your organization?
Sure. Great question. Website is alz.org/Iowa. You can learn about our support groups, the education that we have. Our 1-800 number is 24/7, 1-800-272-3900. Another fantastic way to get a hold of us.
Thanks so much for all you do and for bringing us this promising news today. We're back with more on the News at 4 right after this.